When I was a young adult, my mom handed me the keys to her bedroom, and within few minutes, I had broken something she treasured so much. And without realizing it, I had stumbled into one singular, most expensive mistakes that companies make in security today. So picture this. My mom needed me to clean up her entire room, but she wasn't going to stay around to monitor the entire process because she had to go catch up on a meeting with a friend. So she handed me the keys to the room, asking me to ensure that the entire room is tidied up before she returns. But one thing she didn't do was to securely lock up the drawer where she kept her jewelry box. She handed the key to the entire room to me and left. What would a teenager who loved to play around with earrings do in the absence of her mom and one who had been granted access to an entire room do? I had a plan in mind to do something I'd always loved to do. It got it right there, exactly. I went about the business of the day, the task that was assigned to me. I started cleaning the room and made sure I was done within the few minutes I had to do the entire job. Then when I was done, I started looking around. I looked around and my eye caught the drawer where the jewelry box was kept. I went straight to the drawer, picked out the jewelry box, and began to scan its contents. She had different types of jewelry, beautiful jewelry. Some of them were used to complement her everyday outfit, while the rest of them were worn on very special occasions. You can tell that I love dangling earrings like the ones I'm putting on now. I went straight for the dangling earrings. I picked up one of the most beautiful ones she had. As I was about to raise it up to try it on, the earring slipped off my fingers, fell to the floor, and crashed into fragments. I never had a bad intention. I had no intentions to steal the jewelries. I had no intentions to destroy it. I had no intentions to make it, not to make it back to the jewelry box. I just wanted to try it on. And here is what I understand now that I didn't understand then. My mom didn't just give me access to that assignment. She didn't give me access to the task she needed me to carry out. She gave me access to the entire room. And that gap between the access I needed for what I needed to do and what was given to me has a name in cybersecurity. It is called the principle of least privilege. So what's the principle of least privilege? What exactly does it mean? It means granting the exact access that an app, a person, or an account needs to perform a task, nothing more than that. So if my mom had followed that principle, she wouldn't have given me the key to the room without putting away her jewelry box. She would have either stayed back to monitor my activities in that room or locked up her jewelry box before granting me access. Well, you might be thinking, was it not just a piece of earring that just got broken? What's the big deal? It could be replaced. Well, here is the thing. This same mistake happens in most companies today, and the replacement doesn't just cost buying new sets of jewelries. It costs more than that. It costs millions, and I'll give you an example of one that did that. I'll give you one real example. One of the most famous breaches in history hit a giant retailer. The attackers didn't gain access to the company through a broken door or otherwise, or were they able to crack a genius code? No, they gained access through a vendor's account. Yes, a heating and air conditioning servicing company whose login detail had more privilege, way more privilege than it needed. It shouldn't have, but it could, and it did. And they were able to access the account that housed the credit card details of customers. It cost the company millions and millions of money. They ended up settling lawsuits, refunding customers, paying fines. Customers lost confidence in them, and they lost relationship with those customers. And that was the access that my mom gave me when she gave me the keys to her room. You need to do something today. Just take out 5 minutes. You need to go clean your room. Look into your Google and your Apple account and check for the apps that you've given more access than it needs. Do they really need to have that access? Do they really need to? That random app on your phone that is asking for access to your contact list, to your location and all, does it need it? What does a simple flashlight app need access to your contacts for? What does it need it for? Look around, find those assets that you've granted, and apply the principle of least privilege. Take back those keys. Those keys you've handed over to those apps are keys to rooms that they don't need to accept. They don't need those privileges. let them hand them back to you or take it back from them. And if this was able to reframe how you think about access, even if it was a little, then please subscribe. I'll be doing this every Thursday. Real stories, real concepts, no jargons. On the next one, we're talking about how I almost sent money to my cousin, even though it wasn't my cousin. We'll be talking about phishing. See you on the next one.